Are you looking into getting into the highest end, newest built condominium here in Fort Walton Beach on Okaloosa Island? That's right, just outside of Destin. Well, today we are going to be going through Blue Condominium here, built in 2019, and we are going to go through a couple of different units. I'm going to tell you currently what those things are going to be listed for, and if you are looking to possibly move into some of these units as your long-term, or if you're looking to rent them out, we'll also be able to tell you what our average rents are in these areas. So this is going to be a great treat. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Blue. Now we're also going to go into the amenities and talk everything about Blue Condominium and talk a little bit about moving here to the island. So let's go ahead and take a look. This is the Blue Condominium. This is the newest condominium that has been built on Okaloosa Island. This one was built in 2019 and is the newest beachfront condo on Okaloosa Island. Now there have been some rehabbed ones before, but this is brand new, right? This is 6-story, low density building with 47 executive units. And I've got a surprise for you guys. We are gonna go through a couple of these units. They are gonna be top floor units, so you're gonna get the best view possible. It's really going to be great. We're gonna be checking out the 300 feet of private beachfront along the Gulf of Mexico. And this here, as we will pan around, is an actual gated community on its own. So it's one of the few communities that we're going to see here on Okaloosa Island that actually is gated. You do have to have a specific code to get into here. All these different amenities and everything else are really going to make this feel like a luxury type of area. So this is the main entrance for Blue. As you can see here, it's got some fountains. Kind of has that azure look to it, but it's truly its own. Truly. So let's go down here, we'll jump on an elevator, and let's go ahead and check out our first unit. As we step off the elevator here, I want to show you first that we actually do have some really nice views up here, not just of the Gulf, but of the Intercoastal Waterway. Now this is just your view coming out of the elevator lobby. So you can see through here, this entire complex does have its own gated community, so you don't have to worry about anybody else coming in and stealing your amenities. A really nice place. So let's head down here. We're going to check out our first condo unit. Now this is open air to the other side here. Again, giving you some great views of Okaloosa Island and on the back end. Now this is really interesting too, because this condo unit is actually located only 6 complexes away from the very end of Santa Rosa Boulevard, which means that down here towards the end, there's no other business, there's no other traffic. So this truly is private when you're coming into these areas. Like, you're not going to get a whole lot of traffic and everything else. And you'll see that down here, they're actually going to be, in the next couple of years, taking this from a 4-lane down to a 2-lane. Not that there's enough traffic that we need to support the 4-lane down here, but they're going to be building a bike path that's going from here, which they've already started at the time of this video here in 2025. This is going to go all the way down to downtown Destin. Now, the 6 miles of that has already been completed. But if you like to bike, you like to walk, jog, this is going to be an excellent opportunity. So let's go ahead and check out our first unit here. Okay, so our first unit that we're going to be going into here today is our 3-bedroom, 3-bath unit. All right, so again, all of these ones, we have 3 and 4 bedroom units, anywhere from 1837 to 2203 for its square footage. And the one next door that we're going to be looking at is going to be the very next one that we're going to be looking at. So we'll see a 4, we'll see a 3. This is a 3 right now. And that extra surprise that I am going to be showing you guys, it is actually vacant, which means that you can see what the space actually looks like without any of this furniture in here to see really how big this is. Obviously, this is the balcony. We're gonna go ahead and check that out here in a minute. But first, let's take a look at how spacious this living room is. Now, the good news about this is that you have tons of open space for entertaining. You'll see that you have your breakfast nook here for the larger parties that you're gonna have out there. A lot of the people that end up renting these units, especially the 3-bedroom, 3-bath, they're parties of anywhere between 5 to 12 guests that can come in here, and they say that they absolutely love these places just because of the amount of space that you have. Of course, we have our kitchen here. I'm going to come back to the kitchen, but absolutely absolutely beautiful amenities. You're not going to believe some of the things that you get in a condo unit itself. So let's go back here, taking a look at the living room. You can see it's tile throughout. And if you've watched any of our other videos before, this is really good to have tile because of that beautiful white sand beach. Sand gets everywhere. Even if you don't live here on the beach itself, you're going to notice it's in your car, it'll get in carpets. It's crazy. Okay, so we're going to venture down here first and take a look at the other bathrooms. Now, this is our master. Again, has this beautiful view. We'll be coming right back to that, but let's head down here. Now, the first thing that I look at when I come into these units, specifically like this one is a short-term rental, is that you see these doors that have codes on them, right? Now, these are your owner closets. So if you're going to be coming in and using this for your family and loved ones, this is actually really nice because you have an opportunity here to store your own stuff so you don't have to bring everything back every single time, right? This is actually super nice. Hey, there's me. All right, let's see bedroom number one. Now, I love these units on the end of the complex, and I'm going to give you a big reason why. You have big windows. And look at that, that's another balcony that you have here, okay? This is another balcony. It's not very big, but you can still get out here. And again, you got that view, your own private view of the Intercoastal Waterway. Right down this way, as you can see, like that is downtown Fort Walton Beach. So it's not too far away, actually. 2025, they're in the midst of the 5-year project of a new bridge, which means the traffic mitigation will be a lot better too. So let's get back in here to the unit. Now, if you are purchasing this, most of these units are going to be coming furnished. Almost all of them do. If you've never purchased a condo unit in Florida, all of your material items can be in a real estate contract. So real property is what I'm mentioning here. But a lot of this stuff will come in. Sometimes the linens don't come, but most all the furniture will. And you can see that these are some pretty good sized closets. Now, obviously there's no light in here, but you'll see that even in the bedrooms, this is all that really nice, luxurious stuff. There are some high-end features when going into these units that were just used when that was put together in 2019, but this is what you're going to see throughout. There are some customizations, which you're going to see in the next condo, so I'm excited to show you that. But most of these bedrooms here will have access to a bathroom, whether it's Jack and Jill, like we're seeing right here, which means you got 2 doors. You'll see that we do have a nice custom stand-up shower, right? And it's got the tile background to that, really, really nice. You have a larger area for your commode and really nice fixtures. Now, you'll see these are quartz countertops throughout this entire thing. Now, this is typically pretty standard. I always love to test these drawers too to see if they are kind of top line, and that's because they have that, you see that slow close, so it doesn't ever slam. Man, I had a guy tell me about his experience growing up, and he said that his grandmother hated these things so much, right? Hated these soft closes so much that he would never close any doors. He wouldn't, he would just leave them all open. He said he got married and his wife almost killed him. He's like, why are you leaving these things open like this? Well, luckily if he found these updates, you know, he'd be good to go. All right, so we got 2 other bedrooms on this side. As I told you, we got the master over there. Here's an interesting thing that you can do, and one of the units has decided to. If you get another bedroom, you're able to actually put some bunk beds in here and make more beds. So that if you are advertising through VRBO or Airbnb or just using your standard rental management company, you can add more and more beds and more people that can sleep. And that just helps more with your advertising, of course, right? All right, awesome. So moving into here, you can see our other bedroom. Now this one does not have the cool little balcony, but it still does have a good amount of natural light. It does have high-end fixtures. The closets are a little bit smaller on the side, but as to be expected. And moving on over here, you can see that we do have these plantain shutters moving and looking into the other complexes down here, right down the front side here. Okay, and here is the other bath. As I mentioned, almost every single bath or every single bathroom will be linked to a bedroom, or if not, every bedroom is linked. Now that other one technically that we just showed you wasn't a bedroom because it didn't have a closet. Most of your renters aren't going to care that much. But again, really nice high-end features, single vanities, just great stuff here. Okay, so as we venture further down here, one thing that you may have noticed as well is that these do have higher end ceilings. It's not quite 9 feet like you would expect around these types of condos. I actually have a cheat sheet, guys, because there's so much stuff here. It's 8 feet 9 inches in all of these different condos, but it still does give that open airy feel, right? So that being said, it is a condo, so they do really good with the space that you have. So in the hallway that we just went down, you're gonna typically get your washer and dryer included in these units. There's enough for a full size in any of these ones that you've gone to. So nice, it's got the light and everything else in here. You move down further down the hall, we do have a utility closet, right? That's where your water heater and everything else that you might need to store for your cleaning and anything else that you need. Internet routers in that room as well for this particular unit. And even though you have all this storage, we're still looking right here. Like, you still have all this extra storage for when you come into town. So this is nice. And of course, this is going to be your permanent residence. I don't see why you need a locked in your own closet, but I'm not judging. All right, again, we're going to go here into the kitchen here in a moment, but I promised you that we'd do the master. All right, this is pretty great. This is a huge space. Hopefully my camera is able to capture this. But you can see the white sand beaches, the cascading water outside, and this is a king size bed. Imagine a condo with a king size bed. I mean, for the prices, and again, those prices are gonna be giving you those here towards the end and all those numbers, but for what you're going to be paying for the amount of square footage right here on the Gulf on Okaloosa Island, like, it's pretty incredible. Again, most of these furnishings are gonna be coming with most of the condo purchases. And we'll go right out here to this balcony here in a sec. I'll just show you around what sort of view that you're gonna get, but let's go ahead and see the rest. So as we go into the master bath, big amount in here. This is still that same type of ports that we saw. There is another owner's closet in here, and we've up to 3 so far. And then we also have really nice fixtures, soft clothes, dual vanities. Oh my goodness, my wife and I are at each other's throats if we don't have a dual vanity. I don't know if you guys are like that too. A big old soak-in tub. Really went out on the extra features in this one. A big stand-up shower, again with that custom tile throughout. And its own separate, now I love this, its own separate commode, toilet area, whatever you'd like to call it. And there's lots of room in here. This is what you would expect on the luxury side of the market for space that you're going to be looking for. And of course, no master would not be good without a walk-in master closet. And that's what we have here. Pretty good size, once again, for what you're going to be getting for this size of a unit. All right, let's go ahead and check out outside. We're going to go ahead and see what our balcony situation looks like. So almost every single one of these condo units is going to have at least 10 feet of private Gulf front balcony. Now you can see in the unit that we're in now, it had extra balcony on the other side, but my goodness, look at this. So it has a slight bend in here as it connects to the other unit, and then you have your own lookout into the Gulf. Gorgeous, isn't it? Now, if you're wondering what's next to us, this is a public access to the beach. And you might be thinking, hey, this may take away from having our own privacy here at the Blue. I'm going to say that it actually doesn't really that much. This is a new thing that they had just put in within the last 5 to 6 years. Having these with the restrooms, it actually gives them more parking, more access to what they need, and it actually spreads everything out. So there are actually 8 of these beach accesses that they have throughout Okaloosa Island, which is allowing the public and us locals to really enjoy it. Now you'll see over here, just to see the other view, now you get to see all the rest of Fort Walton. If you can see here, you'll see that bridge project right out in the far end of that. And then right down there is Santa Rosa Boulevard. That's where they're going to be putting in bike path, running path, where everybody goes. You can see on the left side that there is already a walking path, but they're going to make that like double wide and really make it nice for everybody to go to. So you can see here that they have put in 2 separate seating areas for here. We just had a little bit of a windstorm, so that's why things are kind of kicked up that the way they are. And then this is our access back into the living room. So really beautiful stuff out here. And I always think too, when we put this in here together, it's really nice too, because when we're having the sun kind of going over here, you saw that we were mostly in the shade, but you also get the access to the sun. Having this balcony the way that it is going to allow you to kind of shift around, not necessarily have to go down to the area, of course, which we're going to go down to check out the sun deck, you can see the spa, the fire pit from this unit, but there's going to be so much more with the amenities that you're going to be getting. So this is just a beautiful, beautiful spot. But let's keep going inside and show you the rest of the unit for the kitchen. And then we're going to move on to the next unit, which I'm excited to show you guys. So I know I keep talking about these premium interiors, but the things that you're going to see in each one of these, especially here in the kitchen, is those quartz countertops. We got designer cabinetry all throughout here. The stainless steel gas appliances. This is a double oven. For those of you that like to cook, man, that's a lifesaver, right? Having to be able to cook two different things at the same time, especially if you've got a bunch of people in here. It is awesome, right? You have porcelain. This is that porcelain tile floor. And you do have the frameless glass showers that we were going through. And matter of fact, we saw that all these places also had all these smart features as well. Now this one too has the double sink. I don't know about you guys, I'm not a huge fan of these double sinks, mainly because if I've got some big dishes that I'm putting in here, pots and pans, I like to have that spread out in the farmhouse. But again, that's always something you could change. But still, that's your preference. I'm not hating. And of course we do see here that each one of these has its own soft close all throughout here. Of course you have a dishwasher, and this is nice because it has gas to these units. Now, I don't know if you're a big gas person for your cooking. I certainly do love it, but tons and tons of counter space here. This is the biggest part that I really wanted to show you, because a lot of us, when we're staying, vacationing, or just spending your time, if this is a place that you're going to move to, like, I really love the fact that there is openness and enough for everybody to sit and to interact. So if you like to entertain and bring people out here and say that you're prepping food for your family and your loved ones, because this is going to be the legacy for the family that you're putting together, that everybody goes to, that creates all those memories. Like, this is the place to have that. You know what I mean? And to have everybody sitting over here at the table that you can interact with, if you're an extrovert like me, talking to other people that are there, or people having their separate kind of conversations, all in a condo, which is pretty amazing. Like, these are the places that those memories are made, and I absolutely love it. So that's why I really wanted to share that with you in such a beautiful place as well. Now, this is big enough to have 3 different people sitting up here at the counter. Obviously, you've got 8 spots over here and plenty of spots over there on the couch. There are some extra chairs in there. I don't know that it goes with the theme here. I don't know what they're doing in here. Don't blame me for that. But you do have the stainless steel here as well, as far as upgraded appliances. These are just really nice places. Now that we've seen one that's furnished, let's go ahead and go to the other penthouse, top side. We're gonna look at one with bigger square footage, more bedrooms, and we're gonna see what that looks like vacant so that you can put your own kind of style onto it. So let's go check that out. All right, moving right on in here, we're gonna be taking a look at that 4-bedroom, 3-bath unit right here. So let's go ahead and jump inside. The first thing that we see when we come in here is all of the same features that we had seen before, right? We still have those almost 9-foot ceilings that are in here. Really spacious, still has that great porcelain tile throughout. Now this is a different design than what we saw in the other one, but pretty big, right? We'll see over here, we have our first bedroom, and without the furniture, you can see that it is pretty spacious still, right? You can see that we have the access here to look at the Intercoastal Waterway, and I think this is pretty interesting too, because we have our own built-in. So the owner who lived here there pretty much the entire time until they decided to move to another beach house, really designed this for herself. Now, some of the things that you'll notice in this specific unit with all the extra built-ins and everything else, it is also good here and has been rated for those with disabilities. So you can see that they have made everything wide enough, low profile enough. So this is the first main bath. Again, Jack and Jill, like we talked about before. We see some upgrades as well. We have granite instead of the quartz in here. We still have the soft close, which I always check for that quality. And even as this is a Jack and Jill, it is still a dual vanity. So you can see specifically without the other items in here, how big this actual area is. And you can see again that it is compliant. Okay, so coming back out here to the hallway, we do have some extra storage as well with some built-ins. And here's something interesting. I haven't seen some of these things in a while since growing up. I don't know about you guys, but the the beads going into a specific room. Woo, let's go in here. Man, took me back. All right, so in here is another bedroom. Now this isn't really that big of a bedroom. I'm gonna call it more of an office. The biggest feature here is going to be that it does have a nice window. That was a unit we were just, but you can still get some of the views out here and actually a nice little space. And we do have, you know, a good sized closet in here as well. Obviously used as storage. Put those built-ins, and it does have a light in here, which is kind of cool. All right, let's go through the beads again. So again, that was the main bath that we looked at. And here's our other bedroom. And each one of these bedrooms, with the exception of the one I just walked in, does have access into a bathroom, right? So another built-in that she had put in here, this is the same granite and the same cabinetry that we've seen before. You do have 2 closets on both sides, which is really nice as well. Of course, you get that beautiful view outside. Who would not want to look at that? And then coming into our main, or rather this master bath. Now this is a tub shower combo that we do have in here. Again, it does have that custom tile, and it has some beautiful features to it. Still really good size, does have the single vanity, and you'll see these consistencies. And this is also nice too, because it does have the dimmer switches in here, a little bit of moonlighting for you. All right, so if you are wondering for some of these different places, you're like, this is great, we got all these different amenities and some of these units, like what are some of the extra costs? Now some of the extra costs with this is you're going to be looking at HOA fees around $1,386 or so, depending upon the square footage for each and every unit there. Now, what does that cover for an HOA? That covers about, well, it covers the water, covers your sewer, it covers the trash, it covers the building flood insurance. It doesn't cover your actual condo insurance, right? If you've never owned a condo before, it actually means that you own about half of the walls, right? Half of the ceiling, half of the floor, right? That's what you need to cover in your own insurance. But the stuff that you're paying with the HOA, now that is actually going to be covered for everything exterior to include your balcony, just to make sure. So that also includes your maintenance for all the facilities like the pool, the fitness center, and some of the common areas. It will help with the gate security as well, and it does include your basic cable and internet, but of course that's going to vary for each unit. So anyway, that's the kitchen I'm excited to show, but we got to look at this because this is a really cool feature too. So she did a lot of customization when this owner put this together. And again, some more built-ins for the laundry room and a stackable washer and dryer. And this is interesting because I haven't seen a whole lot of units with this. Actually, it does have a deep soak in her laundry room as well. Versus the other one that we saw this is more for a rental and we're going to maximize that space. And this one in particular was meant more for somebody to live here and to really enjoy it. Now, again, we do have these upgrades. This one, as you can see, does have an extra security system and smart home. So let's move into here. So we're gonna look at more at this kitchen, of course, in this beautiful open view. Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna stop. We gotta look at this first. Just look at the amount of space. And this is what I really wanted to show you, was like how big these units actually are, like how much you're actually getting here. And you can see over there on the wall is one of the smart thermostats, and here's your master. Now this isn't as big as the other master that I showed you, but this doesn't of course have the same view, truly Gulf front view that the other one did as well. So let's take a look into the master here, and then we'll quickly go back in so we can see the main feature of this unit. But we do have some more built-in customized area here. Now, for a master, it doesn't have the dual vanities. I'm sure you could upgrade it too. It does have the little sit-down area for your makeup, single vanity. It does have some upgraded mirror with the actual light inside of it. And then of course we do have its own standard shower. Again, same sort of accessible shower for this unit, and tons of customized storage. Like, you're not gonna run out of storage here. All right, and then here you have your own separate bathroom as well, again with extra cabinetry. And you thought that we missed it. Like, hey Tim, this is the master bedroom. Where is the master closet? It's actually right behind here. So to take a look into this, you can see that it does have its own built-ins. It has at least 5 or 6 of its own separate coat racks, places for your shoes, open doors here. As you can see, we have the lengthways with extra cut-ins there. Just really did a great job at this. All right, let's get out to the main feature that I wanted to show you. Let's look inside of the kitchen and our main room. So this is interesting too, a full cutout for the granite. Like, this is deep inside there. I love the aesthetics for this. And she did wonderful when it came to the different fixtures that they're going to be putting in here, okay? We do have, of course, your electrical that are inside of it, and we have the full casing of granite around here. Now, of course, we still have our stainless steel appliances. This is the deeper sink. This is the nice little sack. Compromise I will for double sinks if I was one of these people, mainly because you can fit more stuff in here, right? But really, really nice. As you can see, it doesn't have as much counter space here because it was a little bit more sacrificed for the rest of the room, although there is extra counter space over on the other side. I don't know if you guys saw that, but lots of storage. Again, the double oven, love this, absolutely love it, with the gas. We also have, this is kind of your darker stainless steel look that we have for our appliances. But everything, I think, really just made for this area, right? You do have your cutouts for your television. If you don't like this, obviously you could pull these things out, but you do have plenty of places to put that in here. And here's that extra counter space that you can use, that she put some extra storage in. All right, so this is just the view from the side. And then you just have so much. Now, obviously right here where I'm standing would go your long table. Now, this is probably something that could fit 10 people, if not more. For this space. Plus you would have, if you can envision it with me, all the other furnishings here on the side. And this wouldn't take away from looking out to the beach. But obviously, we're gonna look at this balcony. This is where all the concentration will be, right? Now, this is a super wide balcony in comparison to what we saw before. This is really, really long down here. You get to see the full part of this entire area. And I'm not going to waste any time and pull this away just so that you can really see and get to love. Now, the amount of space from this balcony front all the way back here, you could fit a bunch of loungers if you wanted to. You also will see that you have access into the master as well for a shorter balcony on this side. But my goodness. And of course, what we're going to be doing here in a little bit is we're going to go down here and check out some of these beautiful amenities as well. And I'm going to talk a lot more and in more detail about what those are going to entail here. Obviously, we're here for the beautiful, beautiful Emerald Coast, those white sand beaches. Just absolutely gorgeous, right? So again, just want to make sure that you guys can kind of see a little bit more about what this is, what the actual space is out here. These units have been awesome, right? And we have so much more that we have to show you. But the next things that we're going to go down, we're going to show you the fitness center. We're going to show you the pools. And of course, we're going to go out there and we have more details. And of course, we're going to have those prices and everything else. So make sure that you keep sticking around. So going into this, as you can see, we've got this nice, luxurious look into most of the facilities that we're going to be going into here for all of these. We do have bathrooms to be able to get into. Now, there are key accesses in here so that you do not have to worry about somebody else coming in from another condo complex checking this out on you. This is actually going to be pretty good. So as we come out here too, you can see that we've got 2 golf front pools. Now, there is one that's going to be heated and there is one that isn't heated. Now, one of them also has the infinity pool, which means that it's just like a walk-in, there's no steps. This is also good for those that don't have a lot of mobility as well. We also have a hot tub and spa over here that we're gonna go check out here in a minute. Now, this is nice too because you have your own boardwalk access as well out to the beautiful sand beaches of why you're even coming out here. But the good news is that you do have seasonal beach chair service specifically for this unit coming on out here. Now, as we walk over to check out the spa and the fire pit, you'll see that a lot of these areas here, most of this condo complex is pet friendly And it even has a turf pet spot, so you don't necessarily have to take them out for the walk if you don't need to, if it's a little bit too much for the weather. But you can see across here that you do have really lush tropical landscaping throughout here. Really nice. You can see these private dunes. Now, we're not allowed to go out on these, so these are preserved through the entire island here in Okaloosa Island, so nobody of course can go on there. Now, you probably saw too here that we do have different stations for rinsing off as well, and so different showers. But here's the spa, the nice little lanai over the top of it. Not enough to take away fully from the sun, but if you want to be out there enjoying the waves, enjoying the beach, and get a little bit of the spa, this is an excellent place, of course, to come out to. Additionally, it does get a little bit cool out here during the season. Now, obviously the summer's going to be the exception for that, but they do have a very nice area for an outdoor fire pit. So this was actually going a little bit earlier, but it has warmed up a bit today. It is in the beginning of March, so yeah, it was about 47 degrees to start the day, but really nice, you know, to hang out, hear the ocean, and just hang out with family and friends. Now, there are different access parts down into the beach down here, as you can see. And just as we were mentioning before, this is the public access that they have over here with bathrooms and everything else. It just shows you how much that here in Fort Walton Beach that they're taking care of their beaches and making sure that it, you know, doesn't turn into some place like Panama City Beach, which you could probably have your own opinion on. But let's go ahead and walk over and check out the other side here for the grill pits. All right, as you saw, that there's really got these nice spaced out amenities throughout here, plenty of chairs, and this is really interesting too. So you have your own grill pit as well, and these are nice because it's not charcoal. Like typically we go to these different places and they're charcoal, and it's you know, you forget to bring those and they get kind of matty and whatever, but these ones are really nice. Not only do you get some of the shade, which you're really going to appreciate during the summertime, but these are all gas. So it's the amenities that you would expect to have in a place like this with the luxury amenities that you're going to have. So gas grill out, nice area, beautiful scenery, luxurious private pools, plenty of places to spread out, and just some really nice upkeeping to really make this stunning. The last thing that we're gonna go out, and obviously we're gonna head out to the beach. We're gonna take a look at the view, of course, which you're going to get here. And just so that you can see a bit of the backside here of the blue, you can see that there are a lot of different balconies, all about the same size, at least on the front. The sides is the one that I was able to show you earlier with the extra balconies, but really great access up into here. Newest unit, most luxurious unit. I'm telling you, these are the places to go. Now, interestingly enough, when it comes to occupancy, it's only 40 to 45% at any given time are these units actually rented out. Okay, so as we look back at these units here, talking about occupancy and what you can anticipate. So most of these units up here are only rented out for short-term rentals around 40 to 45% of the time, which means we're looking at 60, around 60% of people that just live here permanently, right? Now, it could just be a second home or whatever, but as far as short-term rentals and everything else are concerned, it's not that big there. So what that really is going to do is give you kind of quiet feel that you're going to see just through a lot of this really busy season out here. If you're looking for your own place to kind of be quiet and just really enjoy for you and your friends, this is going to be it, and it's going to be the luxury top end, as you can see here at the Blue. So obviously, we're here on the beach, and this is what you're here for. Obviously, absolutely gorgeous, that white sand beach. Today, it's not overly emerald on the Emerald Coast, but still really beautiful here. All right, so as I promised you guys, I do have the numbers for you as well for what you can anticipate for those homes. So that first one that we went into, that 3-bedroom, 3-bath, is currently listed at $1.37 million. And then the bigger one that was right next to it, again, those penthouse suites are at $1.155 million. So if you're looking at renting some of these out, they're gonna be around a gross income around $50,000 or so for you guys to enjoy. Really can offset depending upon how you finance your legacy that you're going to be putting here, or as your rental that you're going to be using part-time, or as a second home or a first home. You can really enjoy everything else that is out here, and there's tons to enjoy that's out here as well on Okaloosa Island, especially down here where I will show you real quick. That last red building is the last one on the island, so you do have that privacy and everything else moving here. So again, guys, this isn't the only thing here. If you want to see more condo units, you want to know more about this area, I've got more videos. Make sure to go ahead and click on that here below.